What's up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video. So if you guys didn't see my previous video, I did mention I was going to be starting a Christian based clothing brand. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down how I'm going to be doing that on a tight budget and currently unemployed. So I have been unemployed for about a month now. I am going to be starting a new job on October 14th, which is in about exactly a week. So I kind of took a month off just to get started with the basics on the Christian based clothing brand. So I'm pretty nervous, but we got to get the funds to go all in on this brand. So of course, I don't have a lot of money and I don't have a team. So no one's going to be lending me any money. I didn't get a loan. No one's loaning me money, nothing. Everything's going to be coming out of my pocket. Of course, my siblings and, my mom, they are going to be helping me with like photo shoots, advice, just some other basic stuff. But as far as money wise, everything is going to be coming out of my pocket. So I'm going to be documenting everything from the good days to the bad days to the breakthrough days through the ugly days. I'm going to be documenting everything. I do want to let you guys know I've never started a business. This is going to be my very first business that I'm going to be starting on my own. So if this is your first time starting a business, starting something, it's going to be something you guys learn, and it's going to be something that I learned along the way. So I'm kind of nervous, but let's go ahead and get started. So if you guys didn't see the last video that I posted a couple days ago, you guys are probably asking why I'm starting a Christian-based clothing brand. Long story short, I've been doing social media for I have a separate account that I post only about cars, car shows, car meets, whatever, all that stuff about cars. I've been doing it for around like 3 to 4 years now. And I have like 400 followers on TikTok, 1,300 followers on Instagram, I think 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And then I kind of shifted over to only posting on TikTok, just about verses and all that stuff. And that one literally skyrocketed in like 3 months. So one of my videos did 1.8 million views. And then literally right now I posted a video, I think a week ago, and that one's at like 110,000 views already. Doing about cars for 3 to 4 years now, barely saw any progress, and then started posting about Christian verses. That one skyrocketed in like 3 to 4 months. So that's the why. So now that we got step 1 out of the way, which is the why, now let's move into step number 2, which is the plan. So step number 1 for step number 2, which is our plan, is to finalize my brand and the meaning. I got that done. That's out of the way. Step number 2 was to create the logo for the name of the brand. That's done. Got that out of the way. Step number 3 was to design my first 2 to 3 t-shirts. I already got that done. I already got 4 designs that I want, and I'm like 100% about them. So those are done. Got the designs, moving on. And for the designs, I'm going to go ahead and make a separate video on what each design means, because it's very deep and meaning. That's what I want my brand to be. So I'm going to make a separate video about every single design on my brand. Each one means something different. So there's going to be 4 total. So that means I'm going to try to squeeze them into one video, but if not, I'm going to do 4 separate videos. So be on the lookout for that. And step number 4 is to print on demand. So what that means is you're either going to pay someone to print it for you, which is going to cost you. But in this case, I'm going to be doing everything on my own. I already got the heat press, I got the blanks, I got the transfers. I'm doing everything on my own. And then maybe in the next couple of videos too, I'll go ahead and give you guys a tour of where I work, where I got it, how I do it. So I'll give you guys a tour on how all of that works. So be on the lookout for that video as well. And step number 5 is to set up the website. That's currently in the works right now. I'm not a very creative person, so that one's going to be very difficult for me. And I know some of you guys are going to say you could just pay someone to do it. But like I said, budget is pretty tight. So I'm going to try to do everything on my own right now. And if I can't do it, I'll get some advice, but I'm going to try not to pay anyone. I'm going to try to do it on my own. And the last step is just to start promoting after step number 5 is done. So just promoting on like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. But obviously I have to have the website done. So right now is currently the website, and then going over to start promoting. So let's go ahead and move on to step number 3, which is the budget. So now let's go ahead and talk about the budget. So I know you guys are wondering, how I'm getting the funds. Do I have any loans? Are my siblings and mom giving me money? So no, everything is going to be coming out of my pocket from the last year that I've been saving, because I knew I eventually wanted to start a business, and I knew I was going to have to pay for everything. So everything is coming out of my pocket. So the budget right now, I've invested so far $1,465 with 68 cents. So from the heat press to the blanks to the transfers, and just from other like websites on like what I use for like designs and all that stuff. So far the most expensive is probably the transfers and the blinks, because that's when I'm gonna have that's when I'm gonna have to be spending on the most, because I need to know what sizes to get. Some of them I don't like the quality, some of them are too big, some of them are too small. Same thing with the transfers. Depending on what size I get, I can't put a 12 by 17, you know, transfer on a size small shirt because it's going to be too big. So it's kind of complicated, because you have to, you know, pick out the size and then pick out the size on the transfer. So it is pretty complicated. That's what I'm going to be spending on the most right now, is the planks and the transfers, because that's something that I'm going to have to be spending on the most every single time, because of course not everyone is a large, not everyone is a small. So that's something that I know I'm going to have to be spending on every single month. And as far as like marketing and promoting my stuff, I'm just going to be using like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, because obviously those are free. But in the future, I do want to pay someone to eventually market for me. A couple of days ago, I actually just ordered like 40 shirts and 40 transfers. Both of those combined was like $900, and I'm unemployed, so I was pretty hesitant about that. And last minute I was gonna be like, you know what, never mind, I'm just not gonna do this anymore. But I know this is what God has for me, so I'm just gonna go all in, and I'm gonna try not to the money part bother me. Like I said, I am getting the job in like a week, so I'm just going to go ahead and be focusing on 100% on this. And in the next couple of videos, I'm going to show you guys a breakdown of what each design means. I have 4 of them, so I don't know if I'm going to be squeezing them into one video, or I'm going to go ahead and be squeezing them into, you know, 4 separate videos. So that's where I'm at as far as the business. I'm currently working on the website. If you want to go ahead and follow me on this journey, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like I said, comment, what are you looking forward to? Share the video, and go ahead and like the video as well. And if you're on similar paths, go ahead and leave a comment down below. And I do eventually want to start a community, but that's where I'm at right now. Just go ahead and follow me on social media, and let's go ahead and get this brand started. God's got this.